Two best friends set out for what should have been a 3-hour hike in one of Panama's most beautiful regions. They carried a camera, a little water, and plans for dinner that evening. They never came back. This is the story of Lisanne Froon and Kris kremers. In March of 2014, the two young women from the Netherlands traveled to Boquete, Panama. They were there to study Spanish, volunteer with local children, and experience life abroad. Friends and family described them as responsible, adventurous, and excited for the journey ahead. On the morning of April 1st, they decided to hike the Pianista trail, a scenic path just outside town. Around midday, they left with a small backpack containing their phones, a camera, and a few personal items. The early photographs from their cameras show them smiling, posing, and enjoying the beautiful views. Nothing appears unusual. But as the afternoon turned to evening, the pair failed to return. At first, it seemed possible that they had simply lost track of time. By the next day, however, concern had turned into alarm. Search teams, local guides, and volunteers began combing the surrounding forest and mountains. For weeks, there was no sign of them. Then, nearly 2 months later, a local woman discovered a blue backpack along the banks of a river. Inside were the women's phones, their camera, cash, and other belongings, all surprisingly intact. The contents of the phones told a heartbreaking story. Beginning just hours after the hike started, emergency calls had been placed repeatedly. Over the following days, the phones were switched on and off as the women apparently tried to conserve battery power while searching desperately for a signal. The camera held an even more puzzling clue. After the final daytime images taken on the trail, there was a gap of several days. Then, during a single night, dozens of flash photographs were captured in the darkness. Most showed only rocks, foliage, and the blackness of the jungle. Investigators believe the flashes may have been used to light the way, document their surroundings, or signal rescuers. Months later, only partial remains of the two friends were recovered. The evidence was insufficient to determine exactly what happened. The most widely accepted explanation is that they wandered beyond the marked trail, became lost in the rugged terrain, and ultimately succumbed to injury and exposure. Yet because so many questions remain unanswered, alternative theories continue to circulate. More than a decade later, the disappearance of Lisanne froon and Kris kremers remains one of the world's most haunting unsolved travel mysteries, a reminder that even a routine adventure can take a tragic and unexpected turn. And somewhere in the Panamanian highlands, the full truth of what happened on that hike may still be waiting to be discovered.